Hey, what's up? This is Tyler.
And this is Meg. Hey, everybody.
What's going on? We just had some pretty funny technical difficulties.
Yeah, some sound problems.
And they were funny enough that it seemed worth sharing. Not sure if it will actually be funny when retelling the story, but it was hilarious when it happened.
So we always do like a little test before we start the podcast to make sure the microphone is working. Mm-hmm. So our little setup is very basic. We have a laptop and a blue snowball microphone just on our dining room table. And for some reason, the microphone was not picking up my voice. Like, it was picking up Tyler just fine, but you couldn't hear me like at all. And I was screaming like right into the microphone, and my audio was not showing up at all. And I was like, what is happening? Am I a ghost? Like,
we tried like flipping the microphone and orienting it differently and putting it in different spots on the table. But no matter what, I sounded just like this, clear, perfect. And Megan just sounded like something far in the distance. Just like something.
Just a whisper in the wind.
Barely hear it. And it was a while before.
Oh my god, we tried it so many times. And then it dawned on me that, maybe it's using your laptop's microphone, not the snowball.
Yeah, because
it was.
The laptop is very close to me.
Yeah, he's our technician.
And obviously a laptop microphone isn't going to pick up things from far away as well, and maybe even on purpose it doesn't pick up things from far away as well. So that happened. Yeah, that was pretty good. But anyway,
apart from that, we're back to talk some Big Brother,
yes,
which we haven't since week 1, and we've had 4 evictions now.
It's been a little while.
Yeah, we haven't really been keeping up with the whole Big Brother coverage, but
no, we've been keeping up with the show.
We enjoy watching other people's coverage, so
yeah,
we've kind of been slacking on our own. But a lot has happened.
Yes.
Especially in this past week. We are mourning a huge loss.
True.
On Thursday, we
Kaitlyn.
lost the queen of Big Brother 20, Kaitlyn Herman.
Kaitlyn, yeah.
I'm inconsolable.
Me too. My draft. I lost another person from my draft.
She was my queen. She was the catalyst of all of the drama in the house. Yeah. Not a day went by where there wasn't new Kaitlyn headlines.
Yep.
On the feeds, there was always a camera on her. Mm-hmm. She's just a star.
She's
and she's gone.
She's a crazy person.
She's fucking insane.
Yep.
And I love it. I love her. I love to hate her. All of it.
She was very fun to hate. I think
where did they find her? Rumor has it Chuck Liddell found her at a tanning salon, which makes perfect sense.
For some reason.
For some reason. Only for Kaitlyn would that make sense.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I can't believe she's gone. I'm like still in shock.
Yeah. She was something else for this show though. It was for these first few weeks. What has it been, 4 or 5 weeks now?
It's been about a month.
I've been feeling like this is probably one of the better seasons of Big Brother ever.
And it was all thanks to Kaitlyn.
And so much of it was thanks to her. So it really sucks that she's leaving just for the entertainment value of it. She was just a crazy person. She was a self-proclaimed life coach, but
24-year-old life coach.
But she barely lived a life so far, and she was completely unable to connect with people or understand
she's
people.
completely out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
And I actually, I'm feeling for her so much right now because she said several times in the house that she felt like she was a fan favorite. She felt like she was being received very well.
Yeah.
And she totally wasn't, obviously.
No.
And, her behavior in the house even led to her boyfriend breaking up with her. In week 2. So it's been a while now, but she's just all hearing about this now. So
well, she had been in the house even since the boyfriend broke up with her, because she doesn't know about this, because they don't get any information from the outside world. And she had been in the house, talking about how her boyfriend is so great and how he understands her. And meanwhile, she's cuddling up in bed with these guys and saying pretty intense,
graphic things.
graphic.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know what caused her boyfriend to break up with her, it was basically her behavior with the other men in the house.
Yeah.
Since she's left, a couple of guys have even said that she tried touching their penises, which is a look. She would get under the covers with guys and take off her microphone and say that she wanted to bang them. I mean, she's an interesting girl.
Yep. And then all the while, the next second she'll be talking about how great her boyfriend is. I think the best word for me to describe her is delusional.
Yeah, totally.
She totally thinks that things are one way and they are a different way. When it came to gameplay, it was that way. When it comes to life and her boyfriend, apparently it's that way.
Oh, Kaitlyn.
She's just maybe has some more to learn.
It's funny that she is so out of touch with reality, though, considering the fact that she claims to be really intuitive.
Yes.
And have this kind of sixth sense intuition and kind of sight into a deeper level than what most people have. And I think she disproved that in her time on the show. Speaking of her intuition, I thought it was pretty hilarious that Bailey told her that Brett and Winston would nominate her if they ever came into power. And then she pretended that she had a dream about it and went to Scotty, who was the HOH at the time, and said, I had a dream that this happened. And he was like, that totally they told me about that yesterday. That I can't believe that. And she's like, I am amazing.
Yeah.
Was that a real hit?
That's so stupid. That would have been really fun if she was doing that as a villainous character. Oh, I know this thing happened.
I think she believes her own lies. I don't even think that she was faking it to look that way to the house guests. I think that she really believes that she discovered that on her own.
Yeah. And she can see auras and all of that.
Yeah.
People have auras that are different colors.
Before she went into the house and the preseason interviews, she was like, I can see auras, but there's no way I'm going to tell any of the house guests this. This is my secret weapon to win.
Yep.
And literally in the first episode when they're having the champagne and introducing themselves, she's like, oh my God, your aura is so green. I can't even.
She is a person that you can never really talk her down from the ledge down to reality. She's up there somewhere in the clouds or something. If you do anything, you saw this in the Julie interview when she was evicted. If anyone tries to question her or ask her or challenge her, the answer is always, well,
that's how it was supposed to be.
It's for the greater good.
This is for the highest good.
That's it's like a total contradiction that she preaches that she can see the future and that she's this bomb bitch, but then also she says, well, it's all the greatest higher good power, so it's you can't control anything apparently.
Right. Kaitlyn.
So yeah, not a fan, but also a huge fan at the same time.
And let's talk about the way that she went out.
Oh no. Yes.
So the power app that Sam, and we'll talk about Sam in a minute.
Boo.
Boo, Sam. So the power app that Sam won in week 1 was finally used.
Not by Sam.
Not by Sam.
Because Sam is a passive player until she isn't a passive player and she actually plays.
Until she comes out of the woodwork spouting some crazy crazy shit.
Personal shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, this isn't about Sam.
Right. So the Power App meant that whoever was evicted this week would automatically have the opportunity to compete to come back in the house.
Yes.
So Kaitlyn is evicted by a vote of 9-1, and she immediately has to go and complete a puzzle.
Yep.
And if she completes the puzzle, which is like an 8-piece puzzle,
yep,
in 2.5 minutes.
It was definitely less than 8 pieces. It was like 6 or 7 pieces.
It was a small puzzle.
They're big pieces.
Well, it's a big puzzle, big pieces. And you think that she's doing good, so she's putting the puzzle together on the floor. It's a vertical puzzle. It eventually has to stand on a platform. And she gets it all together, but then she can't move it from the floor to the platform.
Yep.
And it was in this moment, and she's panicking at this point and saying, it's not going to happen. I can't do it. She's crying. It's at this moment, because the whole week we've been thinking like, okay, someone's going to come back in.
Yep.
This challenge is going to be a gimme. No one's leaving. And it's at this point with like 30 seconds left that I'm like, oh my God, I think she might not get it done.
Yeah.
And she doesn't, but she's so close. She literally just had to like push it together.
Yep. She was right on the edge. She had 2 minutes and 30 seconds to do a puzzle that should take about
like 45 seconds.
About 1 minute for the average person. But she just couldn't do it. She was under pressure, and apparently she breaks under pressure because she even spent some of the time during the challenge.
She literally stopped,
not doing the puzzle.
Got on her knees and like cried for a few seconds.
Yep.
When she had like a minute or so left.
Those are precious seconds in this competition. So
I literally think that if she hadn't stopped to cry, she could have gotten it, because she just had to put it together. She just had to push it. She
basically finished the puzzle. She just had to...
To the point where I wasn't even sure if they were going to give it to her or not. I was like, oh, they might give it to her. But they didn't. Julie said, I'm sorry, Kaitlyn. You did not complete the puzzle. They weren't even prepared for her exit interview. They didn't have chairs out there.
Yep.
Oh, my God. And then we had to wait for the interview. They said, oh, you go see my interview with Kaitlyn online. They didn't even have it on the show. That has never happened before.
Yep. There's so much in this show that is not able to be controlled, and that's why we love it, and that's why it's better than most reality TV, because it's generally unscripted, which is great, and you can watch them 24/7 if you so choose, which gives you some insight into the fact that they are just doing whatever they're gonna do, and they don't really have any they don't have anything that's scripting them. There's some obviously some exceptions to that, like some of the diary room sessions are definitely scripted, and this is one case where we knew the second example of things that are scripted is what the competitions are going to be.
Right.
Production gets to choose that, and according to them, they choose them ahead of time before the season, and they have them all laid out. But there's no way that that's true. They pick competitions
based on who they want to win that week for the best television.
Based on who
that's a theory anyway. Obviously, it's not confirmed.
Right, but it's like, why wouldn't they do it that way? But they need ratings, so they want to keep crazy people like Kaitlyn on the show.
Someone lost their job over this. They had to.
Because Kaitlyn is such great TV, and she brings such great ratings to the show.
I don't even know where we go from here. Like, what does a BB20 house without Kaitlyn even look like?
I don't know. If somehow it is still interesting, then
we know it's really a good season.
then kudos to the editors and kudos to the season. It's going to go down in history.
We still have a lot of big characters, but Kaitlyn, there's no one like her.
Yeah, there's still some people that have blown up and freaked out, like Rockstar and Sam, and kind of Bailey recently.
I will miss seeing the love octagon between Tyler and Kaitlyn and Fessy and Haley and Kaitlyn's boyfriend outside the house. And Brett was in there too.
Yeah, Brett's in there a little bit.
Yeah. He kind of got shoehorned in there at some point. It's a greater loss than I even thought it would be.
Yeah,
I'm heartbroken.
I don't agree with Kaitlyn. It's not for the greatest good.
It's not for the greatest good.
This is terrible.
She needs to be in that house.
But the point I was trying to make about production staging certain things is that since we know that they stage certain things, the fact that this power app thing was going to be, we pretty much knew it was going to be a competition. We pretty much knew it was going to be a puzzle, and we pretty much knew it was going to be timed. Just based on like spoilers and whatnot. But the factors that we didn't know were how much time they're going to give the contestant, what the puzzle's actually going to look like, how many pieces it's going to have, what they actually have to do with it, etc.
And you know that they wanted to manipulate it as much as possible to keep whoever was competing in the house. For the best drama for the show.
Which is why a 1 minute puzzle was given 2.5 minutes, just in case.
Right.
So I'm just trying to stage this for you guys listening so you can understand how crazy it was to see Kaitlyn fail that puzzle, because there was no doubt, it was a 100% chance in our minds that she was going to finish the puzzle.
Absolutely.
And come right back into the house and it was going to be fine. Because of the information that we had from spoilers, from what we've seen production do in the past, from the number of house guests they have compared to the number of days that are in this season, just everything points to them
wanting to keep someone in
bringing
the first
someone
4
back,
weeks.
and especially for them,
especially the biggest character in the house,
especially for them wanting Kaitlyn to stay in the house. So there was no chance that she was going to leave. And we watched it, and it was down to the wire. It was a couple seconds left.
I was sure she was going to get it up until the last few seconds.
It was like 10 seconds left, and she basically had almost completely put the puzzle together. It was a standing puzzle. She had the whole thing standing up, but there was a gap in the middle, and she just needed to push it together in just the right way, and it was done, and she couldn't do it. It was crazy.
The theater of it was like incredible because she did it on the floor and thought she'd be able to just like lift it up, and then she couldn't, and then she's scrambling to get it like piece by piece from the floor to the pedestal. Her mascara's running. It was so much.
There's never this much theatrics in Big Brother, and I'm never as much on the edge of my seat as I have been this early in a season.
Yeah.
Like, maybe on finale night, I'm sometimes on the edge of my seat. Like last year, for example, when it was almost a split vote to see who was going to win, Paul or Josh.
Yeah, that was an amazing moment.
But the rest of that season was boring. This season hasn't even come to the halfway point, I don't think.
No.
And we had a moment like this where I was on the edge of my seat. My heart was racing. I was just so invested in this moment.
Yes, we keep saying this, and a lot of people keep saying this is like the best season of Big Brother we've had in a long time.
It's really
for
good.
Entertainment wise and gameplay wise, and I'm really captivated by this whole season so far. Yeah. I wonder if like the best days of BB20 are behind us now that Queen Kaitlyn is gone from our lives.
Maybe.
Gone but not forgotten. But I still have faith.
I think that Kaitlyn was one of the reasons this season is so good, but I think another reason it's so good, and usually I like when people are in the house that know the game, but I think the fact that these are all new players and a lot of them have not seen the show before other than what CBS shows them, the fact that they don't know what they're doing or that they have varying degrees of knowing what they're doing. I
feel like there are actually more people than normal who are fans of the show in there.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a good mix. There's definitely a lot of people who are like
there's been so much sloppy play even by the people who are fans of the show.
Definitely.
Swaggy was a fan of the show.
Yeah.
And he was the worst, sloppiest example of a fan of Big Brother. He even said in his interviews that he was planning on laying low.
Yeah, that was pretty savage that they played his preseason clip at his eviction interview of him saying, I think I'm going to lay low the first half of the game. That's how you win. He came in and like totally fluffed his feathers and like made himself a spectacle when he shouldn't have.
Yep. Spectacle C.
But I mean, it's all the better for us watching at home.
Yeah, he crashed and burned. But I've just enjoyed the mix of people, and I think hopefully if that theory continues, like that it should continue to be a good season. I think.
So, do you have anything else to say about Kaitlyn?
No, just that I honestly am truly going to miss her, and I hope that she shows up again someday.
Yeah, she is currently like not on any social media. It has all disappeared like right before she left the house.
Yeah.
I think because like the people closest to her knew she was coming out to a hellstorm.
Yep.
But I hope she'll be back, and we wish you all the best, Kaitlyn. I hope to see you on TV again because you are amazing television.
Yep, you are crazy.
And I like her clothes.
Yes.
But since Kaitlyn is gone, I think it's only best that we talk about why she's gone, and that reason is Sam.
Yes, Sam. Boo, Sam.
Boo, Sam. Sam is so canceled.
Yes, Sam is off the air.
So let's try and make sense of her ridiculous HOH reign.
Yes.
So
Ultimately, in Big Brother, you can nominate people. As HOH, you get to nominate 2 people. And technically, you can do it for any reason you want.
There aren't, rules that say who you can put up.
There's always a speech, though, and at that speech, you choose to tell people what the reasons are, or you can tell them a lie.
The fact that she was even HOH is a problem for me because
yes. Let's rewind.
Let's back up a little bit to 2 Thursdays ago.
Yep.
Her power app is automatically going to be used the following Thursday.
Yep.
And she knows this. She's one of only like 2 people that knows this fact. So she knows essentially whoever wins HOH this week is likely going to have their week completely nullified.
Yep.
And no one will go home.
But not only is it nullified, because nullified implies like a zero sum, you have to nominate 2 people.
Yes,
So you're
you have
making
to get your hands dirty for no reason.
Yes, you're making 2 enemies.
Potentially.
2 enemies, and if one of them gets vetoed, you make a 3rd enemy. And then in this week, normally one of those enemies will go home. But in this week, assuming they can finish the goddamn puzzle.
Yeah, let's not talk about the puzzle anymore because I'll start crying.
Assuming they can finish the puzzle, that person's going to come back. So Sam has the potential to create 3 new enemies in the house if she wins HOH this week, and she knows it.
And she somehow managed to create even more enemies than that.
Right, she makes 4 enemies.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll get to that.
Yeah, so she's competing in the HOH competition. I am thinking that she's not even going to try to win because we, the viewer, knows what she knows, that she has this power that's going to be used.
So strategically, from our point of view, there's
she
no
should
reason.
Go into hiding for a week. It's not going to matter.
Lay low.
But she does not throw the competition.
No.
She
wins.
She stays. It's the wall comp, the famous BB comp.
Yep.
So they're all hanging onto the wall, and people are dropping. Sam's still on there, and then all of a sudden, it's just Sam and Tyler left on the wall. The 2 people who know about the power app.
Yep, so the 2 people that could probably lay low and be fine for the week.
The people who know that this is going to be a dud week, potentially.
Yep.
So that already was mind-boggling to me and kind of infuriating.
Yep.
Tyler certainly had no business being up there since he's already won a couple competitions and people are starting to look at him.
Yes.
So it gets down to those 2. Tyler throws it to Sam. And I'm immediately like, why? Sam, why are you HOH?
Yes, so first mistake. Sam wins HOH. Winning HOH in a normal week is a lot of times a mistake anyway. Winning HOH this week, knowing that it's a dud week, is a huge mistake.
Right.
Then she has to nominate 2 people.
Yes.
Here's the part where she could make it actually a pretty good move to be HOH. She could approach this in a lot of different ways. She approaches it in the worst way.
And before she even gets to her nominations, she makes another potentially fatal mistake that we haven't touched on.
What is that?
As soon as she gets in her HOH room, everyone's up there looking at her picture. She's like,
that's
my grandma. And, it's wonderful, whatever. So then everyone's up there. She sits down and she's like, y'all, I'm HOH. this is my room. No one's allowed up here. And no one is allowed to come up here and talk game with me. Which, why? Because when you're HOH, you cannot play the next week. So your only hope of safety, other than veto, if you're nominated, is the social connections that you can make in the house and the strategic relationships that you can form so that you're protected on weeks that you don't have safety. And she completely just throws that opportunity away. The 1 week where people are going to come to you wanting to make deals and say, hey, if you keep me safe, then I'll keep you safe if I win HOH. And just like completely disregards the layers of protection that she could form around herself if she wasn't a horrible player.
As bad as being HOH is a great opportunity to make connections with people.
Right.
When you're HOH, people are going to talk to you. Almost every person in the house is going to talk to you at least once.
Right.
And she does the
Not
opposite.
on Sam's watch.
No
social game here.
Okay,
and
so
she also said several things when she was HOH, like, I can't wait until it's just a group of people left who don't feel the need to kind of game so hard and always be strategizing. Like, why are you there, Sam? She literally doesn't want to play the game. She has said, like, I see X and Y person playing the game. Like, I'm not here for that. Like, why are you here?
I don't know why she's there.
She is, for me, like, the biggest dud in the house.
She's a flop.
Total flop.
I almost can forgive anything that somebody does in the house ever, but when a person like takes up the spot that any other person that wanted to be there to win the money could have had, and they just take up space and they're like, I'm not really here to win, or I'm not really here for the money. I'm just here to be in a house for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, get out. Like, we don't need you here. We want somebody there that's trying to win the money.
She belongs on BB19 because she is exactly like those people who are like, I just want to make it to jury so that I can get the guaranteed stipend for the whole season. Which is trash.
Sam is so last year.
Yeah. Sam is canceled. She had it pretty much in the bag to get America's Favorite House Guest at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I think she still has a chance, unfortunately, because people forget things, and the show didn't give her nearly harsh enough of an edit.
Right.
But, I mean, she had, like, America's Favorite in the bag, and now people online hate her, including me.
And, I mean, America's Favorite usually is voted based on the casual viewers, but last year I think it was pushed by the internet viewers.
Yeah.
The more hardcore audience. So maybe the hardcore audience will influence things again this year, and maybe Sam doesn't win America's Favorite and someone funny does. Like
or someone
Steve.
Who played, or Brett.
Yeah, Brett.
I would love a Brett. America's Favorite.
That would be good. Yeah.
So Sam was already playing this horribly, and then come her nominations. What was she thinking?
Yeah, I don't know what she was thinking. So she's made 2 mistakes so far. This is her 3rd mistake, and this is a really weird mistake to make. Like in the game of Big Brother, there's a lot of aspects to it, and one of the biggest ones is social connections, and you get far in this game by being like nice to people and becoming friends with people and not burning bridges. Burning bridges in Big Brother is bad. And Sam did exactly that. She nominated Kaitlyn and she nominated Haley
for purely personal reasons.
Right. We'll never know what her real reason was, but during the speech, the things she said to Kaitlyn and Haley were entirely personal attacks.
Yeah, she basically calls them out for being flirty.
Yep.
She says that they are the opposite of female empowerment.
Yes.
That they don't respect men or themselves. They hang all over the guys in the house.
Yep.
In the diary room, she calls them cheap.
Yep.
Later, she goes and talks to a couple of other house guests, saying that they wear clothes that hang off of them.
Yep.
And they look like they always just rolled out of bed. And the other girls are 10 times hotter than them.
Yep.
And still carry themselves better than Haley and Kaitlyn.
She also says that they're going to negatively influence the guys in the house by leading them on.
Yes, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but she's having a conversation with Rockstar, I think, at one point, and Rockstar points out that Tyler is just as flirty as those two girls, and she says, well, he's a man. He can't help himself.
Yeah.
And I puked in my mouth all day.
What a backwards person. Like,
I'm old-fashioned.
Yeah.
I'm a lady.
It's not a good thing to say that you're old-fashioned. That's not a good thing.
Yeah. The internet kind of exploded after that and saying that she's slut-shaming and...
I'm a lady. No more slut-shaming. We love sluts. We want you to be slutty. Like,
I think that in the Big Brother house, you should use every tool that you have to win.
You should use your tools.
And these girls are using, like, their flirtation to get further.
Absolutely. And
they
should.
Obviously, everyone was having a ton of fun watching Kaitlyn be a train wreck because she had a boyfriend and she was flirting with all these guys, and it was hilarious. But, I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with... like the actual game to me, like that.
It doesn't have anything to do with the game, and also at the same token, this gets a little bit into opinion territory. But in my opinion, Kaitlyn can do whatever the hell she wants. Like whether or not I think what she did was wrong or right, or like it doesn't matter. So why does Sam get to? And it's just because she was HOH.
She literally felt like she was the higher power in the house last week.
It's all for the higher power. She felt like she was the one who was the right person to make these judgments,
and she's going to punish these girls for acting how she deems inappropriate.
Yeah, you're one of 16 people in this house. You're all on the same level. Like, you're no better than any of these other people.
Yeah. And right after she makes that speech, she's up in the HOH room, like, cuddling with Fessy.
Yep.
I loved in the episode how CBS totally dragged her for that. Like, the way that they showed that in the show was hilarious.
That was funny.
Because she's a hypocrite. And she's... It's so, like, ugly. Like, don't bring that... like catty girl behavior, because to me she's not an empowered female like she's pretending to be. I think she's a jealous catty girl in disguise, you know. She's pretending that she's not, but she totally is.
Yeah, I think that ultimately, if you reduce it all down, I think she is just being jealous and catty. I think that the comments she made though are just wrong, like from a logical point of view. How she was saying that how she's an empowered female, and that Haley and Kaitlyn are not empowered females because
they flirt.
Because they flirt. Like, and then at the same time saying that the guys are allowed to flirt because they can't control themselves.
Because they're men.
That's
hello.
That's like I mean, if you just like follow the word like empowerment and you I don't know, like think about what it means.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense that she's saying that they are the opposite of female empowerment, because she's trying to take away their empowerment by telling them that they need to be in their place and respect their men. Like, it's insanity.
It's disgusting, honestly.
She's crazy.
I'm so glad that we didn't do this podcast last week right after this happened, because I was like 10 times as heated as I am now.
Yeah. I'm
kind of cooled down a little bit, but I'm still like so over Sam.
Yeah, Sam is done.
Sam's so canceled.
Not a fan of Sam. She is an idiot.
And she's not done making mistakes, because when it comes to veto...
Yep.
Fessy wins the veto and takes Haley off the block.
Yes.
That is some amazing entertainment in and of itself, because he promised both Kaitlyn and Haley that he would use it on them.
Yes. Why, Fessy?
Kaitlyn's devastated. Then he calls Kaitlyn Haley. It's amazing. Yeah. But bottom line, he uses it on Haley. And then Sam needs to make a replacement nomination, and she starts going into this speech saying how she was going to nominate her best friend in the house and someone that everyone enjoys, because she doesn't believe that he will go home.
Yes.
And JC immediately thinks that she's talking about him.
Which she is.
Yeah. We'll never know for sure because she has denied it after. Mm-hmm. She's also confirmed it, though. Like, she denied it to him, but I think she confirmed it in the diary room. Like, Sam was all over the place. So JC thinks that he's about to be nominated. So a big brother first, he speaks up at the veto meeting and says, Sam, don't do this. I would never do this to you. What are you thinking? And she backs down and puts up Rockstar instead. And it was like, that made Big Brother history. Like, have we ever seen someone speak up like that at the veto meeting?
No, nobody's ever done it. And it
literally saved his ass.
It was confusing, too, since no one's ever done it. We weren't sure if you're even
Is he
allowed to do that. But yeah, he did it. And it was fine.
And he saved himself. It was kind of genius.
Right, so that's what the fourth mistake that she made.
And a fourth enemy.
Yes, right. She did not need to make an enemy out of JC, but she did.
Plus, she just came off looking super bad.
Yes.
To a few of the other house guests who have lost all respect for her and think that she attacked, especially Haley, for no reason.
Yeah.
So she's in some bad standing with a lot of house guests now, and JC even said, she has plenty of enemies in this house now.
Yeah, she has plenty of enemies in this podcast too.
2 out of 2.
Yeah. That was her fifth and final mistake, was making enemies of us.
Yes.
So, boo, Sam.
Boo, Sam. And after the veto meeting, her power is gone. She's essentially not even HOH anymore.
Right.
For all intents and purposes. So we'll see. I know Haley's definitely gunning for her now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Sam. What a mess.
Yeah. Yeah. Very bad player. Who knows if it's even going to matter, because some people that are in her corner are good players, like Tyler, for example. So she might get dragged along for a while. But siloed off, her specifically, she is a bad Big Brother player.
Yeah. I do think that she might go far, actually. I could see her being like the third place winner, just because there seems to be someone like her that's always dragged to the end.
Just to be clear, that doesn't mean she's good.
No.
But yeah, I could see that happening too.
Someone who is potentially a really great Big Brother player, though, is Tyler. So
yeah.
Let's talk about Tyler.
Sure.
I happen to really like Tyler, and you are not as up on Tyler.
No.
But we both can recognize some pretty awesome game that he's playing so far.
Yeah, gameplay-wise, so far he's done a pretty good job. I know that, I don't know, there's not much you can do when you have to deal with someone like Kaitlyn. He doesn't have to deal with her anymore.
See, the thing is, she was such a great asset to him at first. In week 1, she was the one that he was able to flip. So he manipulated her into abandoning her alliance, voting with his side of the house, consequently getting rid of Steve. And then she wins HOH right away, and he controls her entire HOH.
And convinces her to get Swaggy out.
Yes, who was one of her closest allies and, like, the leader of the opposing side of the house. So he was able to do some pretty incredible things using Kaitlyn as a tool.
Great work with
On the
her,
other hand, she was, like, obsessed with him, and he is terrified of her.
Yes.
So I think he's kind of happy that she's gone, just because I don't know how much longer he could have taken her.
Yeah.
But I've heard from Kaitlyn, he's got pretty much everyone else snowed as well.
Really?
I know that Rockstar is, like, kind of going after him. I think Haley might be.
Okay.
I can't quite remember. But otherwise, like, he's got everyone else pretty much misted.
Yeah.
And spoilers for this upcoming week. Are you cool if we get into some of this?
I'm fine with it.
So Bailey has won HOH.
Yep.
And Tyler should be one of her top targets. And she literally said, I'm giving Tyler the week off this week. So Bailey's not going after him. So he's still in great standing.
Yep.
And I think that if he keeps going like this all the way down the line, he could be like one of the new Big Brother greats.
Yeah. I feel like ultimately if Tyler just lays low for a while, it'll be pretty good for him.
Yeah.
When he was controlling things, he was playing just a little too hard and things would blow up on him a little bit. I originally, and I think Tyler thought the same thing, I originally thought that Sam was really good for his game, but it turns out that, during her HOH reign, she wouldn't listen to anything anyone said, including Tyler. So maybe she won't be very easy to manipulate. We'll see.
Yeah, and I think because he's so skilled in manipulation, he really doesn't have to win a lot.
Right.
He also won the power app, so he has a decent power to try and keep himself safe for a bit, so he can avoid being nominated one time if he sees it coming.
Yeah. So we'll see. I haven't, I've seen like good gameplay from him. I don't have any reason to dislike him game wise, really.
What is it that you don't like about him? I'm curious.
I don't feel like I really have a concrete reason. I'm just I almost don't like him for the same reason that I didn't like Paul last year. Like
I can see that.
I'm not ready to watch somebody like control the house and turn everyone else into boring zombies that just do what they say.
It's kind of frustrating to see someone steamroll. I don't think he is, though. I think he's already faced a lot of adversity, and I think he's going to continue to face adversity going forward.
I think I might end up rooting for him again at some point, but right now it's like not interesting to root for him or fun, and he isn't like particularly like that fun or funny to me as a character. He barely does the like funny surfer dude thing. That's not even really his personality.
No, it's not.
So he's just fine to watch, I guess. I don't really dislike him. I'll always be a fan of whoever's the underdog, and he's not the underdog.
I hear you. I find him really compelling, but I totally see where you're coming from. I think he could win you over if the season goes the right way.
Tyler's funeral. If he does something crazy, then like I will fall in love.
Yeah. So speaking of Dan's funeral, we saw a kind of out there move like that. Not anywhere close to how amazing Dan's funeral was, but we had Brett call out Rockstar in his speech on eviction night.
That's a good point. That's why I kind of liked Brett already, but that's why I'm so high on Brett right now.
We're really high on Brett right now.
I love these
because
theatrics.
He's so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
Kind of for the same reason that we loved Kaitlyn. Like, we really like compelling house guests.
It was no Dan's funeral, but
not even close.
It was similar in the sense that it was him standing up.
It was just a blatant lie.
Yeah, standing up in front of everyone and lying.
So, this was 2 weeks ago, right? Eviction night. Brett is sitting on the block next to his closest ally and best friend, Winston.
R.I.P. Winston.
It's going to be a split vote, and half of the house is going to be blindsided.
Yep.
Because they're thinking that Brett's going to go home and Winston ends up being evicted. But in Brett's speech before everyone casts their vote, he calls out Rockstar, says that they have like a secret alliance, and she's going to flip the vote and pin it on Kaitlyn. And this works like perfectly. Brett ends up staying, and he's safe for the next week, and people are not talking about him and how dangerous he is, even though that's what was being talked about the whole week up until that eviction. They're talking about Rockstar and how crazy her reaction to this allegation is. She can't believe on her daughter's birthday that he would call her out like that.
She says, on my daughter's birthday, I can't even. She bangs pots and pans throughout the week.
She says that Brett has a micro penis.
Yes.
It's a look.
She freaks out, and it works great for Brett.
Yeah, she makes herself look really guilty.
Ultimately, this lie doesn't even make sense, though. If any of the house guests just took a second to think about it, if someone was voting for you to stay...
Why are you going to try and alienate them?
Yeah, why would you call them out? Like, then they won't vote for you and you won't stay. So,
but it worked.
Everybody was...
what can you even say about this? It was hilarious. Yeah. And oh my gosh, when she is going crazy on him for like days following this, he is completely stone-faced. He's not giving her anything, and that was so perfect. She's going on and on, banging pans in his face, saying that he has a micro penis.
She physically gets on top of him.
She jumps on top of him, and he's just smiling and stays silent. She goes on and on about how, oh, Brett, you're my best friend. We have a secret alliance. I'm so glad you're here. And he's like, yeah, me too. Just own it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, it's perfect.
Oh my God. Yeah, so Rockstar sucks.
Yeah, things are looking kind of bleak for her. A lot of people want her out. A lot of people have given her crap for how volatile she was after Brett called her out. I can kind of see where she's coming from.
You just need to chill in the Big Brother house. You just got to chill out. When people do shit to you, you just got to be like...
You've got to be like Brett when Rockstar's screaming at him, just
do nothing
smile
or laugh it off or just smile. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Rockstar has painted a pretty big target on her back just from her crazy reaction.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was on her daughter's birthday. What do you expect?
I don't know. I didn't expect that.
It was really nice to have a big blow up in the house, though. I feel like we haven't had a lot of huge fights per se yet. We did get a kind of controversial fight between Bailey and JC on the show this past week.
Right.
Where some derogatory words were said. And this season is not new to controversy. We've had quite a few kind of salacious things said.
You might not be able to see from this picture correctly, but Bailey and JC got in a fight. Bailey is a black woman. JC is a short man who is...
He's not a dwarf.
He does not have dwarfism. He is just a short person. And so they end up having a conversation.
Yes. So Bailey says an offensive word first. I don't think that she knew.
Yeah, she says the word for dwarfism that you're not supposed to say.
Yes, it starts with an M.
Yes.
And JC kind of says, like, you're not supposed to say that. It's equivalent to saying the N-word.
But he actually says the N-word.
He actually says the word.
She actually says the M word, and he actually says the N word in response.
Right. And I wouldn't say they get into, like, a fight. Like, it's not like an argument, like, screaming kind of thing. But they're both, like, offended. They both feel like they're in the right. They're actually both pretty much in the wrong.
She is pretty heated about this.
She's very, she's very offended.
She's like, that is not for you to say. You cannot say that.
I actually felt like Bailey kind of blew things a little bit out of proportion, but I can understand as the only woman of color left in the house, it's kind of her responsibility to, defend herself, you know, and make sure that people know what's okay and what's not okay. But, I mean, it was... not really good. I'm glad that they were able to, like, mend fences.
Yeah.
It was controversial.
It's also important to note that JC not only is a short man who does not suffer from dwarfism, but he also is a homosexual man.
Oh, yes. And she did say the F word.
She ends up saying the F word
bad.
Later in the conversation. So... if we're keeping score.
Yeah.
But we're not.
And now that she's HOH, she's been making some comments that a lot of people are taking offense to.
Yeah.
Like short comments about JC. And also like pale comments about Scotty.
Yeah, which is pretty funny.
Which is weird. She's called him like an albino. She's called JC a munchkin. And a little thing.
A person like Bailey, who absolutely has probably gone through discrimination in her life, saying these kinds of things about other people, specifically things about people's skin or things about people's appearance in general, is like it doesn't even compute. Like, what?
Yeah, so she's not off to a good start with her HOH reign.
She didn't say these things to these people, though.
Correct.
So it's not like she's burning bridges with them. She's saying it to other people behind their back.
She also said that Sam made some good points last week. So it's so weird. I don't know what is going on with these people. When they win HOH, they turn into monsters. Yeah,
a lot of these people just, they haven't gotten their chance to come out as monsters yet. And
they get a little taste of power and they go insane.
Up. Yeah. So Bailey's an insane person. Boo Bailey. We don't like her. I don't like her.
No, I didn't like her to begin with because she plays the whole like I'm a princess card, and it's just like I don't like girls like that.
Yeah.
But now she's just really saying some stuff that's not gonna go well for her.
We're over you, Bailey and Sam. Get out. Bring Kaitlyn back.
Yeah. Revenge for Kaitlyn.
Yeah. It was fun to hate Kaitlyn, but it wasn't even like a visceral hate. It was more of a fun hate.
Yeah. Oh my god, I loved her.
She's just fun and funny.
She's a train wreck, and she's perfect.
Yeah. I feel like the best thing about Kaitlyn is that I don't think she was entirely non-judgmental, but she was most...
I think she was like one of the more bitchy, judgmental people in the house, actually. But
she was ultimately just like fun to watch. Yeah,
she played it off in like a more fun way to watch anyway.
These other people are just like flat out saying like personal things about people.
Yeah. I
don't know. I don't like it.
I don't think we ever talked about earlier in the season when Rachel and Angela, I almost forgot her name. Rachel and Angela said some comments that were not so PC as well about tanning.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, they said that something along the lines of because they were getting so tan, they looked like they were changing ethnicities and they looked ghetto.
Wait, after that all happened though, didn't production talk to the entire house?
I think they talked to them privately in the diary room.
Only those
one at
two?
a time. Yeah. JC was also talked to because he was like touching people inappropriately.
Okay.
So yeah. No shortness of controversy in this house.
Where is the chill? Why don't you like all you need to do is chill out?
That's chill I think is all in like Casey.
Yeah.
She's just
Casey
monopolizing all of the chillness.
Casey's absorbed all of the chill.
Which I have to say, I am so not cool with everyone ragging on Casey for not playing the game. She's doing what everyone says you're supposed to do in Big Brother. Just go to sleep for the first half of the game.
She is definitely boring, but also playing a great game so far.
So I will not deny that she's boring, but if you want to win the game, that is the way to do it.
I agree.
Historically.
Yep.
If she stays boring in the second half of the game, that's a different story. But for right now, I wish that people would get off her back because she's a fan of the show and she knows the strategy to win is to stay quiet for the first half of the game and then pull it out at the end, which I think is kind of how a couple people are trying to play it. I think Rachel's going to wake up at some point and really start playing.
Yep.
Haley, I think, could really come out of the woodwork and be a great player.
Yep. Angela, maybe?
Yeah, I think Angela could. I don't think she's as smart game-wise as Rachel or Casey, but I think that she has the physicality to be really good at the competitions.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think Scotty is kind of already
despite the fact
that he's a good player.
Scotty had an HOH.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying that Scotty's kind of already playing.
Yeah.
But he's doing well in the fact that after his HOH, people aren't even really talking about him anymore.
Right.
So he got really lucky with that.
Yeah, I don't think that was his own doing.
No,
I think
he fell into a lucky situation.
He needs to continue playing those lucky cards and just lay low from now on, I think.
Right.
Okay, so Bailey sucks.
Yep. And the last thing that I think we wanted to touch on was the most recent update from the House, which is that the nominations have been made.
Yes.
And our 2 nominees are Rachel and Brett.
No, not Brett.
With Brett being the target from as far as I can understand.
Right. I hope Rachel goes home because she's on your draft.
I don't want Rachel to go home. I think that she still has a lot of not a lot left. She hasn't really started, but I think she has a lot of game in her.
I think that my favorite thing in Big Brother is for people to go home at the right times. I feel like it was too early for Kaitlyn to go home. Swaggy probably had more steam and more entertainment value, but ultimately it felt right for him to go home because he played so hard. He'll be a character that we remember from this season at least, even though he was barely around.
Right.
But I feel like if somebody like Angela or Rachel went home this week, it would be like, who? Who are they? What?
Especially Angela. I almost forgot her name.
Yeah. I wonder if that is something worth complaining about the show in general, that they don't edit it in such a way that we get to know everybody. Is that the editor's fault?
If you're only watching the television show, you miss so much.
Yeah.
So much.
Ultimately, if they did make it so we saw everyone, though, it wouldn't be as entertaining. So
yeah, I don't think there's enough time in the episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did love when Angela was talking crap on Kaitlyn with Haley. And she said that she wanted to throw her down the stairs. Die, bitch.
Yeah.
I laughed
Die,
so
bitch.
hard.
That's funny.
She was like, I want to throw her down the stairs in her little HOH robe. Die, bitch. And it's like, I need to make Angela shirts that say, die, bitch.
Well, she is gone. Bye, Kaitlyn.
Aw, Kaitlyn. I'm going to cry.
I don't really have anything to say about Rachel and Brett, though, except let's hope Brett stays because he is fun.
Yeah, he's actually kind of giving a performance in the house, which I appreciate.
So I hope to see more from him.
Same with Scotty when he on Swaggy's eviction, he insisted that all of the Alliance wear Swaggy C shirts, and then he was the one in the Alliance to flip and vote him out.
Yeah.
That was so hilarious. I love good theater in Big Brother.
Yeah,
I appreciate it so much. Dr. Will is obviously one of the most famous house guests of all time, and he's one of my personal favorites because not only did he play the game, play it hard and play it well, but he did it with such a wink and made it so entertaining and fun.
Yeah.
I just appreciate that so much. So we love you, Scotty, for that. We love you, Brett. We love you, Kaitlyn.
We love you, Dr. Will.
We love you, Dan Giesling.
Dan's funeral. The hashtag for this podcast is #Dan's funeral. And that's also the hashtag for all of the remaining podcasts. We're renaming the podcast Dan's funeral.
But I think that's all that we had to talk about. Just a lot of little things to catch up on, mostly from this past week, because it was crazy.
Yeah.
But this was fun, talking Big Brother for the first time in a few weeks.
Yeah, it was nice to talk to you.
Good to talk to you as well.
It was also great to talk to all of you listeners out there. I know that on our last video, we got no views. So I'm pretty sure that we're not going to get any on this one. So hey, what's up to the 1 or 2 people listening?
Hi, Jeremiah.
Hey, Jeremiah, what's up?
What if even Jeremiah doesn't watch this?
He might
Jeremiah,
not.
Comment below if you made it this far in the podcast.
Why would he listen to this? He's not watching Big Brother.
Jeremiah, why do you listen to the podcast? That is so funny.
Stop listening.
No, don't stop. He's our core audience.
Okay, cool. Well, I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, so we'll talk to you guys later.
All right, BB20 out.
Bye.